Which Z Fold 8 Ultra accessories are actually worth buying? And which ones will crack your inner screen in a month? We ranked 9 of the top picks from worst to best. Here's the twist. We're not just ranking these by star ratings. We're checking whether each one is actually built for the Z Fold 8 Ultra, because 2 of the 5 accessories in this list don't even show up as compatible on the manufacturer's own listing. If you've ever bought a fits most Z Folds accessory and had it show up too small, too loose, or blocking your charging port, you already know why that matters. Stick around, because the last pick on this list is the one accessory that actually matches this phone's charging spec down to the watt. We're starting with the case, because it's the one purchase that touches everything else on this list. At number 5, TORRAS Q3 Spin Magnetic Case. The TORRAS Q3 Spin is one of the few cases on Amazon actually built and listed for the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Ultra, not just carried over from last year's Fold 7 mold with a new product photo. That distinction matters more than it sounds. Foldables change hinge geometry and camera placement generation to generation, and a case that's even a millimeter off can put pressure in the wrong spot on the hinge. This one comes with MagSafe-style magnetic compatibility built in, a 360-degree rotating kickstand for propping the phone up in landscape, and hinge coverage. TORRAS brands as 4x military-grade protection. Worth knowing, that's TORRAS's own internal rating, not a number tied to an actual MIL-STD test standard, so treat it as the brand's word rather than a lab certification. What actually sets this one apart for a countdown built around accessory compatibility is that it ships with 2 screen protectors already cut to match the case. That's a smart move, because the single biggest complaint in this niche is a case's inner lip pushing up the corners of a glass protector until it bubbles or peels. Pairing the case and the protector from the same box doesn't guarantee a perfect fit, but it means TORRAS designed them to sit together, instead of you gambling on 2 products from 2 different brands lining up. The catch is, the kickstand and magnetic hardware add real thickness. This isn't a slim case, and if your priority is pocket profile over stand functionality, that's the trade-off you're signing up for. Verdict: best for someone who wants hinge coverage and a magnetic ecosystem in one case, and doesn't mind extra bulk to get it. At number 4, this next pick solves the exact problem we just raised. What happens when the case and the screen protector aren't sold as a set? At number 4, WSKEN Screen Protector for Galaxy Z Fold 8 Ultra. If you're buying your case and your screen protector separately, which is still the more common setup, the WSKEN kit is built specifically for the Z Fold 8 Ultra's inner and outer displays, not a generic foldable glass multipack. It comes with 2 inner TPU films for the flexible display and 2 front 9H tempered glass protectors for the cover screen, along with an alignment frame that handles the installation for you instead of leaving you to eyeball it. At 0.16 millimeters, it's thin enough that Samsung's touch sensitivity and S Pen input reportedly aren't affected, which is the failure point on cheaper inner screen films. Too much thickness, and you start losing pen precision or getting ghost touches. The listing also claims a 24-hour self-healing layer for light surface scratches and small air bubbles, which is a real technology used across several premium protector brands, though how well it performs is something you'd only know after weeks of daily folding, not out of the box. The honest catch here is that this is sold on its own, so if you're pairing it with a rugged case rather than TORRAS's matched set from pick 1, you're relying on that case's inner lip leaving enough clearance for the glass, something you'd want to check against your specific case choice before installing. Verdict: best for anyone buying their case and protector as separate purchases who wants a protector actually engineered for this exact display, not a universal fold film. Now here's where this list gets uncomfortable, because at number 3, and at number 2 right after it, we've got exactly the kind of accessory this whole video is warning you about. At number 3, RGBTRON 2-in-1 Wireless Charging Stand. This is a genuinely well-reviewed charging stand. It's just not built for your phone. Check the actual product listing, and the compatibility line reads Galaxy Z Fold 6, 5, 4, and 3, along with the S22 through S24 series and the Note 20 Ultra. The Z Fold 8 Ultra isn't mentioned anywhere on the page. That's not a small oversight in this category. Foldable charging stands are shaped around the phone's folded footprint and coil placement, and a stand cut for a Fold 4 or Fold 6 body isn't guaranteed to align its coil with where the Fold 8 Ultra's charging coil actually sits. Even setting fit aside, there's a second issue. This stand tops out at 15 watts of wireless output across its 3 coils, while the Z Fold 8 Ultra was built with 20-watt wireless charging support. So even in the best case scenario where it physically works, you'd be leaving speed on the table that the phone is actually capable of using. To be fair to the product itself, the case-friendly design up to 5mm thickness and the charging status lights are legitimately useful features on the phones it was actually built for. Verdict: skip this one for the Z Fold 8 Ultra specifically. It's not a bad charger, it's a charger for a different phone. At number 2, you get that same old fold mismatch problem, just in your car instead of on your desk. At number 2, DICMKY Wireless Rotatable Clamping Car Mount. Same issue, different accessory. DICMKY's listing for this auto-clamping mount lists compatibility through the Galaxy Z Fold 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2. The Z Fold 8 and Z Fold 8 Ultra aren't on the compatibility list at all. The mount itself has real engineering behind it, a motorized auto clamp that senses the phone and closes around it, a one-touch 90-degree rotation for switching between portrait and landscape without touching the phone, and a clamping arm that extends between 142 and 180 millimeters to accommodate larger folded devices. That range is generous, and it's possible it physically accommodates the Z Fold 8 Ultra's folded width. But possible isn't the same as confirmed, and a clamp designed around an older fold's dimensions is a real risk for a car mount specifically, where a loose or misaligned grip is a safety issue, not just an inconvenience. On the charging side, it's the same story as the last pick. 15 watts for most phones, dropping to 10 watts for ultra-tier Samsung devices, well under what the Z Fold 8 Ultra can actually accept. Verdict: hold off until DICMKY lists the Z Fold 8 Ultra by name, or confirm the folded width fits before you're relying on this while driving. And at number 1, this is the one pick on this list that isn't just compatible with the Z Fold 8 Ultra, it's actually matched to it. At number 1, Anker 45-watt USB-C charger, 2-pack. This is the simplest product on the list, and it's the best matched one. Samsung confirmed the Z Fold 8 Ultra charges at up to 45 watts using its super-fast charging 2.0 standard, a genuine jump from the 25-watt cap the Fold line was stuck at for years. Anker's charger outputs exactly 45 watts over USB-C with PPS support, which is the protocol Samsung's fast charging standard actually depends on to negotiate that speed. That's not a coincidence of good marketing. It means this charger isn't underpowered for the phone, and it also isn't wildly overbuilt in a way that wastes money on wattage the Fold 8 Ultra can't use anyway. The 2-pack comes with a pair of 5-foot USB-C cables rated to handle up to 100 watts, so the cables themselves have headroom for future devices even after this one. The honest catch is that a charger is the least glamorous purchase on this list. There's no kickstand, no magnet, nothing to show off. But it's also the accessory where getting the spec wrong actually costs you real charging time every single day, twice a day, for as long as you own the phone. Verdict: the safest, most boring, most correct purchase on this entire list, which is exactly what you want from a charger. If you're prioritizing hinge protection and a magnetic ecosystem, the TORRAS Q3 Spin. If you're buying your screen protector separately from your case, the WSKEN kit built for this exact display. If you're shopping for a desk charging stand or a car mount, skip numbers 3 and 2 until the listings actually confirm the Z Fold 8 Ultra, an older Fold's dimensions and coil placement
are a safe bet for a $1,900 plus phone. And if you only take one thing from this video, match your charger's wattage to your phone's actual spec, which for the Z Fold 8 Ultra is 45 watts, and the number 1 pick nails that number exactly. Links to everything ranked in this video are below, in the same order we counted them down. Number 5 first, number 1 last. Subscribe if you want us to keep checking these listings before they end up in your cart.